What's going on, everybody? I hope everyone is doing well, and it's official. The Celtics sweep the season series with the Miami Heat, improving to 3-0 against them. The final score of this one was 110-106. This is the first time since the 2016-2017 season the Celtics were able to pull off the season sweep. But honestly, the stat that I like more goes back to last season, to that playoff series. Yes, this team lost. It's hard to get over, but in 6 of the last 7 meetings, Boston has come out victorious. Similar to the last matchup, one of my biggest takeaways is the Kristaps Porzingis addition and how he has drastically changed the dynamic of this rivalry. An impressive stat line of 25 points, 9 boards, 2 blocks doesn't even tell the story. KP's ability to attack Miami in the switch, and even when he has Bam on him, has been a consistent in the 3 meetings. We have seen in previous years Miami's ability to muck it up for the Jays, but when it comes to Kristaps, it feels like they have no real answer. If Miami decides to go zone, Boston just places KP at the nail or elbow and he hits those jumpers like they're layups. He's in the 85th percentile, shooting 51% on those short mid-range jumpers, but if you play man on him, he will eventually get the matchup he wants and punish you there, and then you can't throw a double at him because he's tall enough to make any pass out of that double, and then the ball ends up in the hands of the Jays or Drew or D. White. And that's something that this team has done a phenomenal job with this season. When a double is thrown at one of the guys, they make the right pass and will swing that ball to find the open man and make the other team pay. Sticking on Kristaps though, it's not only his offense but his defense as well that is necessary in this matchup. Bam isn't the type of guy that KP is able to be super effective on, but he is perfect to contest those mid-range jumpers that Bam likes to take. And then the rim protection against the guys who like to get to the rim, like Butler and the new addition in Rozier and those hero floaters. You might not think of KP like a traditional shot blocker, even though he is averaging 2 blocks a game, but his length just gives him the ability to affect pretty much every shot when he's there in the paint. Let's move on to Tatum. I thought this was another MVP-like performance from him. He finished with 26 points, 9 assists, 10 boards. I was a big fan of his approach tonight. 10 of those 19 shots coming within the paint. Somehow 10 shots in the paint, but doesn't get a free throw till the last minute of the game, but that's besides the point. JT stayed patient, did a good job of taking what the Heat gave him, attacked smaller guys effectively, got to his spots, but I want to stick on his playmaking. As I said before, 9 assists, and to go along with that, only 1 turnover, and this is becoming more and more consistent within JT's game. In 6 of his last 7 games, he has finished with 7 or more assists and just about 2 turnovers. Before the season started, some people questioned how this talent would blend, and it couldn't have gone any smoother, and Tatum deserves a lot of credit for that, being the best player on the best team while also being the connector and main facilitator some nights. JT may have sacrificed his MVP hopes for this season. He's not going to put up 30 a game or score 50 to 70 like we've seen at points this season, and he seems perfectly okay with doing that and just providing what the team needs. Along with his facilitating, I thought another aspect of his game that shined tonight was his defense, especially in crunch time. He got those 2 huge stops on Bam, and this has always been in my argument for why Tatum is one of the top players in the league and better than mostly every star he is compared to. JT is the superstar on his team, but also he plays defense for the full 48, which is something we don't see very often, and in crunch time he's actively seeking to guard the best player. And maybe not the best player, it's whoever is streaking. Tatum is willing to step up and take that challenge, and it's everybody 1 through 5, from Shea to Bam. Tatum is gifted enough to do that. When it comes to individual performances, those were the guys that stood out to me, JT and KP. But today overall was a fun game. It was a chippy playoff atmosphere. I know Heat fans will say they didn't have Butler, and prayers to what him and his family are dealing with. But it's not always as simple as if X player played, we would have won. I mean, last time these 2 teams matched up, it was in Miami. Butler played in Boston, won by 33. And the last thing I want to say, for Heat culture being all about toughness and grit, there was just way too much complaining going on tonight. The fact that Duncan wanted JB tossed over that tie-up, I mean, come on, that was extremely soft. I've watched Jaylen Brown. I've watched every game of his Celtics career, 8 years now, and not once has he purposely tried to injure a player. If there are any Heat fans listening, don't be biased. We all know what Duncan does on defense. He doesn't have the strength to hold his position, so he always does some slick shit like pull on jerseys, holding guys from the waist. It's there every single game, and it just happened to be that he ran into somebody tonight who wasn't going for that. To recap the game, Celtics win 110-106 on the road against Miami. They are now 41-12 on the season. I think they are 4 games up on anybody else in the NBA, including the Western Conference teams, but it's Super Bowl Bowl Sunday and basketball is probably the last thing on most people's minds today. So I'm going to wrap it up right there. If you guys enjoyed this video, please like, comment, subscribe. It's the best and easiest way to support. I'm here after every single Celtics game, all 82 plus the playoffs. All-Star break is coming up. They got 2 more games. It's a back-to-back against Brooklyn. So I will talk to you guys Tuesday, February 13th. Brooklyn Nets. Peace.